Hey there boys, welcome back to the channel. It's been quite a while since I've done an actual upload, so I figured I'd bring you guys along with the latest issue that we're facing and show you guys how I'm going to solve it. First off, thank you to all you guys who picked up some cup holders. We sold quite a few of those, so awesome. You guys are great. Hopefully you're enjoying them. Back to the regularly scheduled program. So if you've seen the shorts, I've been up north of here in the Adirondack area, up north of Lake George, New York, doing a 2012 Ford Focus 2-liter Duratec head gasket job for a guy that I work with. So some of you guys have probably been curious about the gentleman who had his tire stabbed in one of the shorts, and he actually was driving around town and didn't signal to pull into a gas station parking space, so somebody freaked out, ran up to him, stabbed his car tire, and he drove off for a few minutes because the guy was following him, called the police, and then the guy fled. So I came out, helped him out, swapped his tire out, and he's been back on the road. The guy got caught, and he's paying for a new tire. Court date was last Thursday, and he got a big fine and criminal mischief charge and a bunch of other stuff. So that was kind of wild. But anyways, if you see on the bench right here, we have one of our 12-inch SPAL fans, and this one yesterday crapped out on me. The day before, if you saw my upload, we lost a axle on the passenger front of the car. The CV axle popped all the way out, and it was toast. But the next day, which was yesterday, Tuesday, today is Wednesday, we lost a SPAL fan. I turned the car on, and this little fan right here didn't want to power up, so I went through the normal procedure of checking, if maybe my relay was bad or a fuse had popped, checking all the wiring and all that stuff, because I made a custom harness to hold all this stuff together, and no luck. I actually power probed it. I hooked up power and ground here, and then I shaved a little part of this blue wire, which is the hot wire on this, down, put some alligator leads, gave it direct power from a 12-volt source, and grounded the other wire out to the chassis, and had no luck. So that left me with a bit of an issue. I'll show you kind of why it's a problem. The problem's been fixed, but I'll show you it's kind of an issue still. We are outside now, and we have one of the 14-inch SPAL fans hooked up right here, and as you can see, it's really close to the exhaust manifold, and I think that's what killed the last one, was being so close to the downpipe. Now it's within a finger or so away, and this is an oversized fan. You can't fit a 14-inch on your car. I barely got mine to fit with a little bit of cutting and grinding and all that. It's in there, it's wired in, and it works. The problem is, I don't want to kill this one. This was a $160 fan, and I think what we're going to have to do is try to mitigate some of the heat. So I figured I would bring you guys along for this process. What we're going to do is try to build ourselves a custom sheet metal heat shield. And as you can see, we do have basically a blanket on here. It's like an insulating blanket. That's been on here for a while. That does a good job. The O2 dump has been wrapped with well, not the greatest anymore, but it's been wrapped with some of the exhaust wrap. And I was going to buy some more exhaust wrap. I just don't like the stuff. It gets everywhere. The fiberglass that's in it falls off on you. You're itchy for days. And it basically breaks apart after a while. Some of you guys probably have good luck with it. I haven't had the best luck in it. Maybe I wrapped it crappy or didn't do the best job. But anyways, I'm tired of having this issue. I don't want to burn this fan up. So what I did was grabbed a piece of cardboard here. And what I'm going to do is trace this out onto a piece of metal, and this is going to be our roughed out shape for our new heat shield that we're going to make. And I'll show you guys what it's going to look like here, if I can do this one-handed. It passes down under the wastegate arm. Let's see if I can get this up under here for you. There we go. And if you look, there are some bolt holes in the downpipe here, or the turbo rather, in the turbine housing. So this is going to sit like that. I'm going to drill a hole there. It's going to wrap around and basically avoid the arm for the wastegate, and then it's going to kind of curl itself around the downpipe, if that makes sense. And we're going to be using sheet metal, obviously, so I'll be able to bend it to fit, but it's going to do something. Oh, it's hard to do one-handed, guys. It's going to do something kind of like that, except this piece right here is going to be butted up against there to bolt in. So it is the next day, and this idea of going heat shield around the wastegate arm didn't work out, so that's going in the bin. I started a new shape, which looks a little rough right now. It will be cleaned up. This wraps around the front of the wastegate, and I have to cut this little corner out right here, and I have another piece I'm going to add to like box this area in around the side. This bolts up to the turbine housing hole, and I'm going to finish weld all this stuff once I clean it. I know it looks ugly right now. I bent all this up. It's a very weird shape, as you can tell, just so it would wrap around everything. It wouldn't hit the alternator power side arc or anything like that, but this is the start of it. I've got to tie in some more stuff, finish weld it, grind it all down, and get it painted up. So this is the progress. This curve was kind of a pain to make right here, but I got to go over and grind it all down, finish it up, and where that Sharpie is, I'm going to cut that out, box this corner in right here, and then hopefully we'll be ready to finish grind it and call it a day. So I'm going to stick you guys off to the side, time lapse the rest of this, and show you the finished product, hopefully the finished product very, very soon. Boys, so after a lot of trial and error here, this is what I've come up with. It's hanging to dry right now. I just hit it with some VHT flame proof primer and paint, and it's kind of sideways. Right here it's supposed to be turned up like that. That's the top hole and that's the bottom hole. I just put a little tab on this thing, and this is going to bolt right up to the turbine housing. It looks like there's a couple of bolt holes that are available still, so I'm going to see if I can find a couple of bolts that'll fit in there. And I measured this all out. I test fitted a few times. Everything lines up great. This wraps around the manifold, and this other part shoots down below to protect the bottom portion of the fan. The fan sits like right here. The motor does, kind of centralized around the middle here. And it clears the wastegate arm, gives a little bit more protection from the downpipe heat. And next, what I've got to do is I've busted open this DEI this stuff, the adhesive backed heat screen, and I found that you can buy this stuff at AutoZone. I got this one off Amazon. It was like 22 bucks, I think. It's a big sheet of Mylar, and it says it's good for up to around 2,000 degrees. So what I have here is my dead SPAL fan, which shares the identical back. The only thing that's different on the 14-inch fan, this is a 12-inch fan, is where the wires go in. There's a little bit of like a probably 3/4 of an inch block of rubber where the wires go into the back of the housing. So I'm going to use this as my template. I'm going to cut out the shape out of this Mylar heat barrier, and I'm not going to peel the plastic backing off of it yet, and I'm going to take it outside. I'm going to line it up to the fan that I have and peel it and stick it. Once I'm done with that, we should have the paint set on our heat shield, and I'm going to line the inside of that heat shield with the rest of this Mylar that I can, and we're going to go from there, and hopefully that's going to remedy my issue with burning up these expensive fans. So I'm going to stick you guys over my shoulder, trace this thing out real quick, see what I can get out of it, and I'll see you guys out in the driveway for a brief second. So we're out here. I've got my Mylar patch, and this is actually like woven material. There's like a bunch of million little strings inside of this. I haven't used this stuff before, but I've seen other people use it with really good luck. So I've got the fan cleaned off. Our cover is going to fit right on here, and you can see that's the top bolt hole down below the wastegate arm. I don't know if you can see that or not. That's the bottom bolt hole, and that shield kind of wraps around this whole area right here. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this Mylar on there, and I'll show you what it looks like once I'm done. Well, boys, I got that on there. It doesn't look like much, but it's stuck on there really, really well. Nicked myself on the freaking wastegate flapper little pin there. This seems to be on there pretty good. I tried to peel some of it off. It's not going to come off. That adhesive is serious stuff. So now all we have to do is grab our homemade heat shield, bring that out here. Well, first I got to find some bolts that fit those holes. They're looking like possible 10 mils. I'm going to guess they're 10 mils. And I'm going to also line the inside of that heat shield. So let's head back down there, do that real fast, get the inside of that thing nice and coated, and we'll bring it out here, bolt it in, and hopefully we can save this big fan from burning up like the last one. Alright guys, so I have this sheet of Mylar. There's some left over right over here. And what I'm going to do is peel the backing off of this, and I'm going to try to force it into the inside of this heat shield that we made, and basically cover everything up. I'm going to try to jump the little gap that goes from this mounting point down here, and then I'll just cut a little hole right there. I'm just going to cover the whole thing, and I'll cut the excess off. And also, when we did our kill mat installation install, I have these rollers left over, so I'm going to use this to help apply it. So I'm going to stick you guys over my shoulder and okay, boys, so here is my homemade heat shield. Back is completely coated in the adhesive backed Mylar, and that went on really nice. So I'm gonna go bolt this into the car, and I know it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but I made it in the basement. So anyways, I'm gonna go install this. I'll show you guys what it looks like in just a few minutes. So I'm gonna run outside real quick, and I'll see you in a flash. Gentlemen, as you can tell, it's pretty dark out. It's really, really late. The 2 coats of VHT primer and ceramic paint, along with our custom homemade heat shield and our Mylar backing. You can't really see it that well, but there is a gap down here. There's about 3/4 of an inch of space. It's beyond the curve right here. There's about 1 finger worth of space right between the fan motor and the heat shield, and the 2 bolts, one on the bottom, one on the top. They're actually 12 mils. You can kind of see the other one, not really. It's down around the curve. Anyways, that's what it looks like now. Doesn't look too terrible, honestly. Just looks like a heat shield, and I don't think anybody's gonna have any trouble with it or any problems with it. I'm sure there's a bunch of different ways I could have done it, but utilizing 2 factory bolt points and some, what was that, 16 gauge sheet metal that I picked up, did the trick. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you right back here with some more fun, getting ready for a nice springtime episode coming up soon, and we're going to be doing so much work this season. I can't wait. So many parts to show you, so many more videos to put out this year. I can't wait to share. But anyways, take care, be safe, stay warm. We'll see you right back here for another episode in the next couple of days. Take care.